Hello class, and welcome to the video for exercise number 5 in your Learning Publisher course. And today in the exercise, really this is some stuff we are pretty familiar with because you've been using it for other applications, and that's really selecting text, copying it or moving it, and then of course deleting it and using undo and redo. So I don't really have a lot I have to say before we get started into the exercise because most of the stuff you know. Now really the difference with Publisher compared to the other applications you use, I would say, let me zoom in here, is that you're using a lot more of placeholders, these text boxes. And so when you want to move text, as opposed to using alignment and a lot of other things in Word, you want to move the text box, and then of course you can use alignment tools and things like that. Now you can always type things and copy them, select them from a text box and put them into another one as well. You remember the hotkeys for copying and pasting. The copy, it's Control C. For pasting, it's Control V. If you want to cut the text, it's Control X. So there's a lot you can do. Remember, you have your undo button and then also your redo button. The hotkey for the undo is Control Z, and you can see that comes up here when I hover over it. And then of course for redo is Control Y right there. So this is stuff you really hopefully already know, and so I'm not going to spend a long time talking about it. And then also remember, in case you forgot, that when you copy something, it copies it to your clipboard, which is kind of where Microsoft stores the things that you've copied. And so sometimes when you exit out, you'll notice it'll ask, you want us to keep this in the clipboard, the thing that you copied, and you'll say no, you don't really care about it because you finished working on it, hopefully, at that point. And so those are the bits and pieces that you need to know, but most of you probably have already covered that at this point or have a good grasp on it. So we're just going to get started with the exercise. So for this one, you need to open up that file you downloaded from Plus Portals, hopefully before this, and that is Pub5. So I'm going to go File, Open, Browse, and I'm going to open up Pub5. Now mine's in my CA demonstration folder. Hopefully it's either in your downloads folder or you saved it to a folder with your name on it. Make sure you're keeping these things organized of where they should go. So I'm going to open up Pub5, and that's down here. And you can see we're still dealing with our geo file right here. And so I'm going to zoom in. First off, it says actually to save it as a different name, so I'm going to do that. File, Save As. You can't just click the Save button because it's already saved to a folder, so we got to do File, Save As. I'm going to choose my folder I'm saving it to, and I'm going to name it 05geo_ and my initials. These need to be capitalized. If you do not capitalize them and make it exactly like how I have it, you will lose points. So make sure you do that. And then I'm going to save it. I'll zoom in a little bit more here so you can see better some of the things we're working on. First off, it says select and delete Discovery Expeditions and then type Camping Trips in its place. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. So Discovery Expeditions right here, I'm going to get rid of that. I select my text and then I go and just start typing in Camping Trips, and it will replace the text I had selected with the stuff I'm typing. Then it says copy the line Fossil Swaps and paste the copy beneath the original. So I'm going to select this text. You could right click and copy it, but I'm actually just going to hold down Control and push C, and then it says to put it under. So I'm going to push Enter. It makes that space for me, and then I'm going to paste it, Control V. And now I have two. I'll push backspace because it gave me an extra line. Alright, then it says edit the second instance to read jewelry making workshops. Jewelry making workshops. And then it says undo the last two actions, removing the editing and then removing the copy. Now, you'll notice with this curriculum, they'll have you do that sometimes where you type something in and then you get rid of it. And the idea is just so you can get practice. So it says I need to undo the last two actions. So I'm going to click twice. 1, 2. And I'm going to have to actually do it a few more times. The last two actions, of course, were I need to get rid of the fossil swaps in this. So you go right back to this. I had to click it a few more times because there's a couple more steps to the actions, but basically you get rid of that line that you just copy and pasted, and it's just so that way you can learn it. And then it says to redo the two actions, restoring the copy and then restoring the editing. So I'm going to click redo again a few times, so that way it says it. Voila. So it gives you practice doing it. So if you reach the point of this video and you're confused, well, now you know you just need to have it like this. But that's how it have you do it. Now it says rearrange the list items using cut and paste so that they are in alphabetical order, except leave and much more at the bottom. Now they show and illustrate. They have an illustration here in the book I'm reading from. You can just watch my screen and I'll show you the order. I'll zoom in a little bit more so that way you can see this without being fully zoomed in. So alphabetical order. Now I'm leaving this part up here at the top, so don't move this. I need to arrange everything else. So alphabetical order. Now there's a few ways I could do it. It says to cut and paste it. So I can hold down Control, press X, and it takes that whole line, and then I'm going to go right here in front of geode hunts, click, put the insertion point there, and hold down Control and press V, and voila, it switched it. I'm going to take camping trips. I select, hold down Control, push X, click in front of geode hunts, Control V. Just like that, cutting, pasting, and just do the alphabetical order. So you can see by the end, your list needs to look just like this. Alphabetical order for these things, except for the and much more, and this part at the top, of course, is not alphabetical order. And there you go. Next thing you're going to do is I would save it, and then we're going to do the file, print, and then you're going to choose Microsoft Print to PDF and print it and save that file. Remember, you're using the exact same name from this file. So I saved it as 05go underscore my initials. So I'm going to do that right now. 05go underscore my initials. Don't put .pub. If you put .pub, it will mess up the file because it's going to try to replace it. So just do 05go underscore your initials and save. Now save as a PDF. And that's all you're doing for this file. Alright, so let's go and take a look over here at our next part of the exercise. So you downloaded two OPUB files here. It says you need to open up OPUB 5A for reference and then OPUB 5B. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up those two files. So I'm going to go browse and then OPUB 5A, and then I'm going to open up OPUB 5B. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them side by side. So because it says you need OPUB 5A as a reference, so you can refer to this sheet, and then we need this one, OPUB 5B, and we're going to actually save it under a different name. So OPUB 5B, we're going to save it in our folder with the name 05wash underscore your initials. So 05wash underscore your initials. Remember, all caps. And then you're going to save it to your folder. You don't need to save this one because right now you're using just as a reference. And then it says use a combination of retyping and copy and pasting to make it contain the same information as OPUB 5A. And it says you can add, delete, and resize text boxes as needed. It says you can use autofit, as we learned earlier, wherever the text is too small to be easily readable. And then also, if lines do not break where you would like them to, press Shift and Enter to force a line break. So basically, you see how right here it splits up the line with halfway through fundamental. I could go and click in here if this was actual text and do Shift and Enter to force it to break the line at that point. So I'm going to leave this up to you. I'm not going to actually show you in the video how to do it because it's pretty self-explanatory. So take this information right here and put it inside of this flyer right here. Once you're done doing that, the last thing you need to do is you need to delete the organization logo. So change all the text here to what it needs to be. Car wash is going to stay the same, but fill in the info. get rid of the logo, and then you're going to save it. So I'll just save it like this for the video's sake. Yours is going to look more like this one. So you need to submit this file here with all this stuff filled out for the second part of the exercise. So the files you're going to submit for this one, you have 05 Geo, the publisher file, and then also the PDF, so that's 2. And then for this one, you have just this one file right here, 05 wash underscore your initials .pub. So submit those on eLocker, and that is how you do exercise number 5.